recording audio. We've got the microphone set up. I think I'm good to go. I think I've vaguely remembered how to make a video, so I'm going to start with this. Let's f it up, up. Hi. If you don't know me, my name is Leonie. I have been making videos on this YouTube channel, Spines and Splines, about art and printmaking. In the past, I've done a lot of art tutorial videos and printmaking tutorial videos, and I got, I think, a little bit burnt out on it. I moved house 3 years ago with the intention of making a lot of videos in the new place, and I have barely made any, I'm sorry to say. If you don't know me or don't know this channel, I moved from Australia to Ireland in 2017 and started making the tutorial videos. I lived in Dublin for a little while, moved to Cork for a few years, was renting there, and then we moved back to the middle of Ireland in 2022. And it's great, I love it here. I've made a lot of art over the past few years despite the almost complete silence here on this channel, but I feel the need to maybe start making some videos again, and they're probably going to be a bit different than what I have made in the past. For a while I didn't really know what kind of art I wanted to make, and I'm a bit more comfortable with what I am making now. So I think I'm just going to make videos about the stuff that I want to make, and they won't necessarily be tutorial videos, but if you get something out of them, that's great. I'm gonna just do one of those old school YouTube videos that I have never really done much of before, so I'm probably not particularly good at it, but I'm gonna go through some of my favourite things for the year, and to be quite frank, some of those favourite things are things that I have made. So back when I started this YouTube channel, one of the things that I was interested in learning how to do was make my own music for the videos, because it's if you've ever made a video for YouTube, you'll know that it's difficult to find music that you can use in your videos that will be free of like copyright use or whatever. And so I wanted to learn how to make music to use in my videos, and what that has led to is this, which this here is a piece of art. Obviously it's a woodcut print with some watercolour, and this is the cover of the EP that I made for my band. My band is just me. In 2025, my band name is Hot Pink Halo. This EP is called Looking at You, and I am super, super, super proud of this. I've released a few singles in the past, but not really sort of pushed hard to get people to listen to them. Turns out that when you make music, the hardest thing to do is get anybody at all to listen to it. But this has got 5 songs on it, and I am super proud of it. I think it's really good, and I've done a lot of sort of fun little artwork stuff to go with it. I haven't done like a physical vinyl release or CD release or whatever, just because that's not the kind of thing that I particularly want to do, but I have screen printed some t-shirts. This is my dog from back in Australia, Stella. You can see her on the cover there as well. I've got a video that I'm currently editing that is about how I made these shirts. I screen printed them myself, so I will hopefully get that one up on the channel soon. And the thing that I have spent a lot of time on with this EP is a little artist book that I have made to go with it. So this is the little package that it comes in, and I've made a little sticker to go with it. And this is the artist book. So the EP is called Looking at You, and it's 5 songs with space themes. So the reverse side of this is a woodcut print star map. Again, we've got Stella here, we've got another of my old dogs, Henry, got our current dog Tig, and our old dog Tom behind Stella there. And so Stella is in the position in here that would be the constellation Canis Major with the star Sirius in it. And she is there because the first track of the EP is called Phalo Cyan and Blue, and that song was inspired by Stella. And so this is a hand-carved woodcut on this side. And on this side I've got two, the yellow and the pink are hand-carved woodcut. And then the text, I bought myself a laser cutter and designed and laser cut the text and then printed it the same way that I printed the back. So this was all printed at the Black Church Print Studio in Dublin, where I've been a member for a year and a half. Great place if you're ever in Dublin to have a look. It's in Temple Bar and it's like a little oasis in Temple Bar. It's fantastic. It's a member-run studio, so I've been there for about a year and a half. And this was all printed there. So super proud of this. You can buy this on my Hot Pink Halo Bandcamp page if you would like it. It's €40, which I think, to be honest, is an absolute steal for a 4-colour hand-printed woodcut. That's in an edition, I think, of 115. I'm still going on printing that if you're wondering how long that kind of thing takes. It takes quite a long time. Shown you the t-shirt, shown you the artist book, I've shown you the artwork from the cover. Please go and listen to my EP. I think I did a really good job of it. I wrote all the songs, I mixed and recorded all the songs, and I sent it to a really fantastic mastering engineer in Australia. Her name is Talia Rose Coleman of Rosie's Audio, and she mastered it for me. And I was able to make it with some funding that I got from Laois County Council Arts Office to pay for the mastering and for the making of the artist book and cover artwork. What else did I do this year? Oh, I got my Irish citizenship, which means I am now a dual citizen of Australia and Ireland. And speaking of Australia, I actually visited Australia for the first time in 5 years this year. The last time I went was February 2020, which I'm glad we ended up going when we did, but it was a bit of a stressful time. This year was probably a bit less stressful, and I was reminded how beautiful my hometown is. And speaking of the beauty of my hometown, I was texting about it to one of my friends when I was there, and I sent my absolute favourite text message that I have sent the whole year, the whole of 2025, and I'm going to put it on the screen somewhere here for you now to read. And it was a nice little reminder of no matter how beautiful a town gets, or how much it grows, or how much effort you put into making your hometown better, there will always be something that pulls you back down to ground. So that was a bit of like I wish that text message didn't have to exist, but it does, and it made me laugh at the time. Not going to apologise about it. But while I was there in my hometown, I remembered this artwork, which I made a few years ago for Culture Night here in my hometown. I made a couple of artworks that were specifically about the benefits of immigration. And Australians will know that this here in the image is a dim sim. The Welcome Stranger was one of the largest gold nuggets found on the goldfields near where I grew up. And this artwork here, not this very specific one, but one that I framed up, is going to be in an exhibition in Dublin in January 2026. If anybody is in Rathmines and wants to go to the Mart Gallery members exhibition, a framed up version of this will be there, and you can go and look at it and read all this text. Buy it if you want to, that would be lovely. It's in an edition of 17, so the one in the exhibition is framed, and then I've got all these ones that I have for sale on my website as well. This is 5 or 6 colour screen print with a woodcut print over the top. What else do I have here? One of my favourite things that I bought while I was in Australia was just to be a real YouTuber, this container of hand cream, and I bought it because I didn't really have a use for it, and I don't really use a lot of hand creams and stuff, but I bought it because it smells like Australia. It smells like eucalyptus and lemon balm, and it turns out, oh, it smells so good. Turns out that when you print 115 woodblock prints with, 4 plates on it, you end up washing your hands a lot. So this has been an absolute lifesaver in my little printmaking kit that I take into the studio with me. It's great, I love it. I wish you could smell it through the screen, but you can't. What else have I got here to show you? While I was on the plane, I have had this book for quite a while now. I can't even remember where I saw it recommended or when I bought it, but it's a book about making ink from natural sources. It's called Make Ink, A Forager's Guide to Natural Ink Making, and it's by Jason Logan. And while I was on the plane, I found a documentary that he had made that's sort of like based on the same things that this book is based on. But I really enjoyed watching that on the plane, and then when I came back to Ireland, I actually ran some ink making workshops with some children in my local county council, which was great. What else have I done? Some other stuff that I've made this year. So I've made my little EP, and I designed we'll get there in a minute. So back when I started writing songs, I designed a little book and had it printed up that I could write songs in, and it had a lot of like ledger line stuff in it and whatever, and I didn't design it particularly well because I didn't know what I needed at the time, and it turns out there is too many ledger lines that I just don't use when I'm writing music, not enough blank space, and there's no sort of index where I can write the names of songs because I intended for like each book to be a song, and it turns out that's not how most people use a songwriting book. They don't use one book for one song. So I used all these up, and this year I designed myself a new one. So this one's got many of the things that that one had in it. So it's got these little handy chord charts. It's got some blank guitar little boxes that you can draw chords out on if you want to, and then mostly it's just blank space with some ledger lines in the border that you can use for writing out music if you want to. And it's got like a contents page at the start, so I can write the date, I can write the song that I've written, and I can write the page number that the song was on, and I've just filled one of these up completely, and this has worked so much better for me. This has worked so much better for me than this book. I'm really happy with that. Starting on my next one soon. So these I self-published on Amazon, which is not ideal, I know, but you do what you can. That just turned out to be the easiest way for me to be able to print them. So primarily I have done this for myself because I want it, but if you want to go and buy one of these, if you think you'll use it, I highly recommend. I'll put a link below. And while I was in Australia as well, I didn't buy myself, I went shopping to try out new pianos because a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, I bought myself a cheap digital piano and started learning how to play it. And it turns out I really, really, really love playing piano when I'm pretty decent at it, if I do say so myself. So I wanted to upgrade the piano, and I went shopping in Australia to try a bunch of different ones out, because the one that I thought that I wanted I couldn't try out anywhere in Ireland. It just wasn't available to try. So I found a place in Australia that had one, so I would like to think, I think it was the Australian Piano Warehouse in Blackburn for their patients. They knew that I wasn't going to be able to buy a piano there, but they let me just go around for about an hour trying out a bunch of different pianos and were very helpful, so I'll put a link to them below. But so I bought myself a new piano when I got back, and along with those songbooks, what I have made for myself, because I tried a bunch of these and I hated all of them, is a little practice journal. A lot of the ones that exist are either made for little children, or they don't have enough space for me to write the kind of stuff that I am interested in learning about or making notes in. And so I made this one that's got a lot of space for me to write specifically what I'm practicing, notes on what I want to improve. It's divided into, very exciting, Got a little roundup section, and then after sort of like the 5-week mark, I've got a little chart that I can fill in. I made 3 of these to try out, and I'm still in the process of trying them out. So I made a 5-week version, a 3-month version roughly, and a 6-month version, and I wanted to try them out to see which one worked the best for me. You kind of assume that the bigger one will work better, but I actually prefer the smallest one because it's a bit less intimidating. With the big one, I find I don't really fill it out as often as I should, and therefore don't practice as often as I should, because there's too much in there, and it feels too big, whereas this feels manageable. So when I'm finished that bigger book, I'm gonna order a bunch more of those. And if you would like a decent practice book, or you want to make a more in-depth video on what I've got set up in this book, let me know. That's been great, and it's helped me practice a lot more than I would have otherwise. I've got a couple more things here to go through. One of the things that I bought in Australia as well that I was going to show in this video, but I've left it downstairs. I bought it from the same shop that I bought this hand cream at, which was weirdly a stationery supply shop, but they had a glass hourglass there, and I just thought it was beautiful, and I thought I have no use for this glass hourglass. What I ended up using it for is practicing at the piano. Turns out that having just a little hourglass, a beautiful hourglass that I can flip on top of the piano that runs for 15 minutes, gives me a good amount of practice time for all the little bits of practice stuff that you have to do, so I'm super pleased with it. We'll try and put in some video of maybe the piano with the hourglass on top of it so you can see. A couple of other things that I have liked this year are books. I've set a challenge to myself for the past bunch of years to read a little bit every night, and I have been doing that. I set my Goodreads challenge at 41 books this year, did not make it hit 30 though, so I'm pretty happy with that. One of the books that I really loved this year was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I haven't been buying a lot of physical books recently, but the 2 favourite books that I've had this year have both been books that I have physically bought. Since COVID's hit, I have ended up spending a lot of time reading library ebooks on my iPad, which has been great. So ones that I just borrow from the various libraries that I'm joined up to. And these books are sort of exceptions to the rule, I guess. So basically I will buy and read anything that V.E. Schwab writes, and I bought this without having any clue whatsoever what it was about. Turns out it's about 3 female vampires throughout time, and I loved it so much that I wrote a song about this for the latest Spin Tunes round this year, and I will link that song below. It probably won't be on the, if I mentioned the album. So I made this EP this year, and my goal for 2026 is to make a full-length album, so 10 to 12 songs. And this song probably won't be on it, but it will be on something at some point, and you can listen to it on the Spin Tunes album that it was released for. Yeah, loved that. And the other book that's probably my favourite book of the year is this one. It's The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman, book 3 of the Book of Dust, The Rose Field. So this is the 3rd and final book in that series. And to be honest, I can't remember much of the 2nd book at all. I need to go back and do a full read of the whole series because I loved this so much. I cried at the end. If you like technically this is a YA book. I don't really consider Philip Pullman's writing to be exclusively YA. I think he is just a brilliant, beautiful writer. Loved this so much, and if you are interested in fiction about creativity and imagination, go no further. This is your series. If you like fantasy books, they are fantasy. Love fantasy books. Why would you not like fantasy books? Anyway, the little red light is flashing on my camera, which means my battery is running out. I should probably... It's been so many years that I've been making videos and I've never had a spare battery for this camera, so maybe that should be a New Year's resolution as well, to get a second battery for the camera. Shocking. Anyway, thanks for watching if you've got all the way through this. As I said, I'm going to start trying to make videos more often because I just feel like it's something that I am ready to start doing again. So if you want to see videos of me making art like this that are not necessarily tutorial videos, or art like this, or art like this, stay tuned. Okay, thanks, bye.